Hey YouTubians, it's Tony here from We Try Anything, the channel likes to try anything so you don't have to. And in today's video, what I'm going to feature is a different watch from the usual norm of Casios and stuff like that. And this one is well, what would be a branded watch. And it's nothing like special like Citizen or Seconda or anything highbrow like AP or anything. It is a watch that's based around the Guinness brand. Now for me, I've drank Guinness over the years. I mean, good God, it's the only drink I tend to prefer when I head into a pub or a restaurant or anything like that. And it is a drink that is getting a bit of resurgent nowadays in terms of, you know, younger people are enjoying this the actual Guinness drink a lot more. There is YouTubers popping up all over the place reviewing Guinnesses around different pubs in the world, because obviously Guinness does have a slightly different taste depending on how it's poured, how it's traveled around the world. And these YouTubers, and there is, I'm going to link to one that I do actually watch, is a chap called the Guinness Guru in Ireland. And I've always followed Guinness, especially with their advertising, obviously through really enjoying the drink, and being an advertising professional myself in a previous life, stroke designer as it were. It has always been a brand I've really enjoyed seeing what they do and how they push their drink and the kind of concepts that are behind their drink. Now, the other thing to mention is that Guinness is the main partner of the Rugby Football Union here in the UK, and is also the official sponsor of the Six Nations Rugby Championship as their official beer. So this watch is what I would see as a past commemoration of that fact, hence why it's mentioned on the dial of the watch featured here. And today I'm featuring one of them that I was given, believe it or not, as a Christmas present. Now this one is a Guinness and Rugby watch, and it is it's just like a very, how can I say, it's not a very expensive watch by any stretch of the imagination, but it is quite a nice looking watch. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to talk about the actual materials that I believe that this watch is made out of. I'm going to give you an idea of some of the sizes that I've discovered looking at this watch. I'm going to just show you a couple of the features or the couple of the things that this watch has, and then what I'm going to then do is pop it on my wrist and say what it's like to wear. Now this watch is, as you can see, it's a very nice quartz powered watch. It is powered by I mean the battery I've taken out of this and replaced it with today, it was a Sony SR626 if I remember correctly, and it just fired up. I mean, I've had this for a fair few years since I was given it as a present, and it just fired back up like some of the other watches like the Secondas and the Lorises that I've featured on this channel. And as I say, it is a watch I just wanted to feature because of its association with Guinness. Now, in terms of the actual case, you are looking at a polished metal, and that goes through to the back as well. There's no reference numbers or anything like that to find this watch on. Obviously, you got the Guinness and Company just emblazoned or engraved on the back, and obviously saying it's stainless steel for a case back. And I do still have the actual protector on the back. I haven't got it on the front, but on the back I have. Now, as you can see, it does have like a little serrated bezel to it, or an outer bezel part, and you've got the inner bezel with the timing going on here. So what you can do on this watch, you can rotate the bezel, which is one of the features of the watch, and it does have a very nice clicky movement. But the only thing I will say with this bezel is that there is a little bit of, it does go back a little bit, you know, there's a little bit of flexibility in that bezel. So probably not the most expensively made constructed bezel in the world, but you know, it does allow you, if you wanted to have like a rudimentary timer or something like that, then it will, you know, it will help you in that. Now I'll just pop that back to the 12 o'clock position. But it does add to the aesthetic of the watch, I think. And obviously, in terms of sizing for this case, you are looking at a size of, I did measure it with the vernier I've got here, got here, and you are looking at a size of 41.7 millimeters wide from the side of the case to the actual crown. Lug to lug, I measured it about just under 45 millimeters, and it does case thickness. You're looking at about 10 millimeters in thickness. The actual strap is a kind of, I would say it's like an alligator style genuine leather strap, which measures about 18 millimeters at the lugs. And you know, it's a nice strap, and obviously it's quite a it's not a very malleable strap, because it's a watch I've never really worn daily. It's just been on the off chance, or just if I fancied just wearing something a little bit different. So I would imagine through wear that this strap would get to a point where it's easily, it's a lot more, as it were, flexible and a lot more comfortable to wear. It does have from what I'm understanding, it does feel like a glass dial window to it. It doesn't feel acrylic or anything like that. And plus, there's not really any kind of scratching that I can see. And as I say, it is powered by a quartz movement. And what I did find out is that when I took the back off, and I'm showing you a few clips here, the back being off this watch, it is powered by a Miyota Japanese quartz movement. And interestingly, the Miyota, what I found out, they're part of Citizen watches. So in terms of reliability, from what I've read online, they're a fairly reliable movement. And from having this for a couple of years, the battery running out, and then just popping a battery in today and it firing up straight away, I've got to agree, it does work, and it has kept fairly good time. I haven't had much it's kept time over the past couple of hours that I have had it. I've had no problem with the actual time that it's kept. Now, as talking about the actual dial, it is a very nice simplistic affair. Now, if I just bring it a little bit closer to the camera, what you will notice on the dial, you do have a very nice black and white contrasting look to it. And also what I love about this watch is the little bits of detail going on here. Now obviously you've got the Guinness and Rugby logo going on here, obviously with the rugby football, the rugby ball making up the top part of the Guinness pint, which is a very clever touch by the designers at Guinness. And also what I do love about it is the little detail on the 12, 3, 6 and 9 o'clock positions, where you've got the actual pint going down as you drink, go through time, obviously drinking that pint, and it gets refilled again at 12. So it's a really nice watch on behalf of Guinness that just does add to their brand, because obviously their brand is very stark black and white, because the drink obviously white head, and it's got that dark ruby red, almost black looking drink to it. So it's a very iconic drink, as it were, in terms of looks, and it is reflected on this dial, and that's what I love about it. And it is something that's it's simple, and it's a very nice effective look to the actual dial that I've got going on here. And obviously you do have your little second hand that sweeps around in a very quartz style movement. And the other thing it does have is it's quite good loom, really, not in terms of like Citizen levels of loom or anything like that, but each of the actual hour markers have a little dot of loom going on here, and you do have on the hour and minute hands loom going on there as well. So it's got some loom that's better than, say, like I'll highlight this Casio because it's to hand here, where the loom's on in just a little bit there and there, nothing on the hour markers or anything like that. It does have a fair amount, little dots of loom that are going around there that are quite bright, really. They don't last very long, but at a pinch it will work. So other than that, I mean, the only other thing to mention is just to adjust the time. You just pull the crown out like you do on a lot of as it were analog watches, and it will easy, it's quite nice, quite smooth, and you'll get to the actual adjusting the time very easily, really. Now I'll just pop that back on 12:39, just pop it there, and there you go. So what I'm going to do after talking about this, I'm going to pop it on my wrist and say it's like to wear. Now on the wrist, it is quite a comfortable watch, I've got to say. I mean, obviously my wrist and the little metal buckle has got, I don't think that's rust. I don't know. It might be an element of rust. I don't know, or a little bit of paint or something like that. But on the wrist, it is a very nice watch to wear. I mean, it's quite. I don't know. I do think that the actual black leather strap, and it is a genuine leather strap. There. Sorry, I meant to have mentioned that. It does complement obviously the black dial and the stark contrasting writing. And I have seen a few other watches that are Guinness branded and stuff like that, and this is definitely one of those ones. I mean, you do see them on eBay for these ones going for about £20, and they do say they're rare and stuff like that, so I don't know how rare these are, but as a timepiece, it is a very easy to read, classic looking timepiece. And obviously when you bear in mind the actual Guinness branding, which is black and white, just based on their drink, but obviously if you're a Guinness drinker, you'll know, shine a light through it, it is very dark, like ruby red drink. But based on their advertising, their marketing, they're going along the black and white theme, and it is definitely echoed in the actual style of this watch, and I've got to say I just really like the look of this watch. I mean, it isn't a daily watch for me, I'll be totally honest with you, but a watch just to wear, you know, out and about for like a special, not so much special occasion, just for something a little bit different to pop on the wrist, or, you know, as a collector's item. If you are into Guinness branded you know, items and stuff like that, and especially watches as well, you know, you can marry your enjoyment of the Guinness drink with your enjoyment of watches. And I've got to say, you know, it's definitely one to add to your collection if you are looking at buying something like this. And, you know, you do, as I say, you can find them on eBay around the £20 mark. I don't know, you might get them cheaper than that. And I haven't seen Guinness do watches since, really, or I haven't seen a lot of Guinness watches going on. But again, you know, I'm only basing it on looking at the Guinness store on their website and stuff like that. But in terms of, as I say, comfortability, you can't feel your hand, you know, your hand doesn't inhibit hand movement. It's quite a nice watch from a distance, and it's easy to read the time off. There's no complications, no date, no other chronograph, anything like that. It is just a simple watch to tell the time, and it does that really, really well. In terms, as I said, it is comfortable to wear. And just going on from where the buckle is, that is on the last hole on this strap. So if you have got like a smaller wrist, then you may either have to create another hole in the strap, or, you know, you may have to get a smaller strap, really, or a less longer strap, as it were, a shorter strap is the word I'm looking for. But, you know, in terms of overall looks and feels and stuff like that, then it's a very nice watch to add to your collection. And especially if you are into the Guinness drink like I am, it's a very nice watch to have and to wear. So I hope you like that quick video, or a quick feature video about the Guinness Own Rugby watch. And if you did, then click on the like button, always helps the channel. If you want to see more watches coming, more watches and products and tutorials and stuff like that coming from the We Try Anything channel, then please click on the subscription button below. And thank you for watching this video, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.